Today we're going to be working on a 2000 TRX350, so let's get right into it. This thing starts, runs, and drives, but there is some suspension damage on the front right, which I'll show you now. You guys can see it's a little cambered out. She's kicked out quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is take my jack it up underneath the skid plate there. We got to get this tire and wheel off, and to do that I'm going to be using a 17mm socket on my impact gun. Coming in a little bit closer here, guys, we can see our tie rod here is completely bent. So on the other side here we can see tie rod, that's straight. You can see how the upper A-arm comes down and what kind of shape that forms. And then we can see lower A-arm and what kind of shape that forms. So if we see how the suspension connects up here, you guys can see it comes straight down. And if we go down here, you guys can see it's pivoted off to the side. You know, he hit something and it bent this all back, and then it bent the top in. So we're looking at two A-arms, possibly a strut here, and a tie rod. But the important thing, guys, is you see these tube frames here, right here? That's straight. I might have to do a little bit of metal work, hammering that in, because you guys can see, you know, it's started to come in a little bit on this side here again too. So we can see we're starting to come in just a little bit on that side, and then over here we're starting to come in just a little bit as well. So once I remove these A-arms, I'll take a pair of vice grips and just a little body metal hammer just to try to smooth that out a bit. But the main thing, what I was telling you guys, is that most of the metal on the frame where the A-arms hook up is solid. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do, come up underneath this tie rod here, and I'm going to remove that. We might pull the hub and the knuckle here and just rotate it around just to inspect it. But I believe that the only thing that's bent up, guys, is the A-arms. So let me go ahead and start removing some bolts, and I'll bring you back. And to get this off, guys, I'm just using a 14mm socket on a ratchet with a 14mm wrench on the side here. Okay, so we got the nut off of the bottom of the tie rod there. You guys can see it. But the tie rod is pressed into the knuckle. So we're going to be using a tie rod disconnector tool. Basically, this, guys, it goes in between there. You guys can see it's a wedge. So you put that in there, you give it a hit with a hammer at the end of it. That wedge right there creates space, and it'll pop that tie rod right out of there. And with just a couple taps of the hammer, guys, we can see that this now pops right out. So we can leave that off to the side. And just as I suspected, I was able to push the hub down a little bit farther with the A-arms. So now our suspension here is free, and I should be able to just wiggle this out till it falls right out just like that. You just want to make sure that you know, the welds at the bottom there aren't broken. Again, you know, if I'm going to be working on this and replacing parts, I'm going to be inspecting everything that I'm not replacing, just to make sure that I don't miss anything. Okay, so this looks a little better. You guys can see that we're straight up there and we're straight down there now. This suspension component does not need to be replaced. That's still good and in working order. Now, some of you guys might not have the tools that I use, such as that one tie rod tool, but I've found over the years that having the right tool for the right job makes things go way smoother. You hit it with a hammer, the tie rod pops right out. It makes things a lot easier, guys, I'm telling you. And for something like that, you can go down to like a Princess Auto or a Napa and probably pick that up for like 10 or 15 bucks, and then you have it for the next time you need it. But there you have it, guys. So there's our bent tie rod. We don't need these pieces here, we just need that rod. We'll put that off to the side and check that out in a minute. So I'm going to be disconnecting this piece here, which you guys can see turns, and I'm going to be disconnecting that from the upper and lower A-arms. I don't want to have to disconnect the brake lines, because then I have to bleed the brakes, because these are hydraulic drum brakes. So they have a hydraulic line that goes down to the drum here. And then once that's off, then I can remove the A-arms separately. And just like that tie rod, it's a 17 mil. Nobody ran a cotter pin. That loosened off to the point where I could get it off just by hand. And we're just going to get that. And you guys could see how easy that came off. So again, just to reiterate what I was saying before, the right tool for the right job makes things much simpler. So I think what happened was this fellow was maybe riding down a trail, smashed into a big chunk of wood, and that's right at the knuckle, guys. Just before I get this off, I got to get all that crud and nasty stuff off of that nut. So I have a 17mm wrench here, and I'm gonna get up onto it something like this and try to hold onto the knuckle and this at the same time. But I think you guys can see, again, because that doesn't have a cotter pin in it, it's a little bit loose. So that should come off fairly easy. I'll be able to use my tie rod tool to split that, and then the hub will be separated from the upper A-arm. Cool thing that I wanted to note is I find it pretty interesting that I'm able to kind of discover how the machine crashed and what exactly happened just by disassembling it. You know, he ran into a log, and the log jammed itself up into the A-arm and the knuckle and kind of bent that whole tire and rim assembly, almost like a little bit of detective work, you know, putting the pieces back together. And sure enough, we were able to figure out how this machine got broken in the first place. Okay, so now we have the knuckle and I guess the hub assembly with the brake lines completely disconnected from our upper control arm. So we're right ready to pull this off. Might need a little bit of elbow grease to get them out. It'll come out eventually. And there we have it, guys. So our hub knuckle assembly there, that's completely disconnected. All of our A-arms are now off. Now I'm going to go online and find a service manual for this so I can start getting some part numbers. Then once I have the part numbers, I can call around to the local Honda dealership, which here I think it's in Stevensville, so that's Laps Cycle. So I'll call around to a couple different places, and then I'll go with whoever is the least expensive. Okay, so that's it for part one. If you guys enjoyed the video, think about leaving me a thumbs up. You know, it really helps me out. I got quite a bit of footage here, and if you've noticed, the back of my garage is now painted white. I did this job last year, so I'm just getting around to editing the video now. But I got a lot of footage, and instead of doing two big parts that were like a half an hour or 45 minutes a piece, I figured I'd split it up into multiple different movies that are like 5 or 6 minutes a piece, and it would just be a little bit easier doing it that way. And by part 3 of this video, we're going to be doing some metal fabrication, some welding, because one of those suspension mounting brackets is bent, and I'm going to be using a hydraulic ram to actually bend it back into place. Now I'm going to be trying to post these videos on the weekend as well as during Wednesdays or Thursdays, so I'll try to split it up so there's 2 uploads a week, so stay tuned for that. So you guys can click here to subscribe, and once part 2 is up, you can click over here for that one. You can also check down in the description down below. I'll have the links there as well. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.